Hey, welcome to Gong Jiao Wei, episode 8.
Moo.
Meh. Hee-haw.
Quack, quack. What the fuck are we doing?
I-
Me and Guy just bought a bunch of animals, so yeah, we got a farm now. And that's my brilliant segue into Animal Farm. So previous podcast, we looked at the bats and Batman Begins. Pretty fun. Why not a book this time? Animal Farm. So yeah.
I think we had fun
Planning.
the last episode,
Right.
dissecting the film, and we kind of realized, it would be a fun thing to apply to another art form. In this case, it's
Okay.
a book.
Right, it's a book.
So what is the book?
Animal Farm.
Not Animal Crossing.
No, fuck Animal Crossing.
Why?
Actually,
I've never played it.
I've never played the game also, but it's like
Yeah.
the go-to shit that people always say now.
Yeah.
And all my kids are like, all the younger generation seems to be obsessed with Animal Crossing. So I don't know. It's like
Gen X, is it?
yeah. And then my boomer brain immediately is like rejecting the new kids, like what they bring in, and they tell you, oh, this game is good, and I'm like, boomer says no. It's like nope. Can't.
Must say younger generation is always wrong.
Yeah, that's why. So that's my immediate.
Nothing you ever say will ever fucking change my life. But what? Black people are not lazy? What the fuck are you talking about? That is false. Malays are hardworking? What the fuck? No?
GG.
Yes, let's fuck a riot right here.
Yeah. How to start Racial Riot 3.0?
3.0.
We did 2.0 already. Now it's
Yeah, not
3.0.
3.0.
Or do we have a 2.5?
No, we got 1.0. Jail 1.0. That's the only version you ever need.
That's Singapore for you, right? It's you just go to jail, straight to jail.
Go to jail.
Yep.
Wait, what's that skit? What's that skit? Like,
Yeah,
you
I
go
remember.
to jail.
Yeah,
You go to jail.
Yeah, I remember that. Shit, where was it from? Probably Mad TV or something.
I think so.
Somehow. Oh no, Parks and Recreation. You know Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There's this character. My favorite character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. What's the guy? Shit. Fuck his name. The clay is silent. I remember that one. Shit. What's his name, man?
Oh, the douchebag,
No. He's not a douchebag. He's a weirdo. Like the first time you ever meet him in the skit, they like knock on his door, and then he opens up the door. Milipnos. Yes, okay, I got it. Milipnos, the clay is silent.
Police!
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name? Milipnos.
Can you spell that, please?
M-L-E-P. Clay.
Did you say Clay?
Yes, the clay is silent.
All right, got it. Have you seen this man before? He was shot last night.
Oh, thank you.
No, sir, that's ours. We need that.
And he kept it.
So just took the photo and closes the fucking door. Yeah, anyway, that actor, he's an SNL actor, so I can't remember his name. Let me go find that. I need to give credit to this guy because he's fucking amazing.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, from Brooklyn. Milip nose. Milip, then clay in brackets nose because the clay is silent. Yeah.
Oh, okay, this guy.
This
Fred
actor, I
Armisen.
remember
Okay,
this actor.
okay. Fred Armisen.
Yeah, okay. Fred Armisen, right?
Yeah, he's fucking good in Portlandia.
Yeah. Definitely. I love him lah. He's damn bloody good, man. Anyway, it's the part in Parks and Recreation where they invite the other government from Puerto Rico or something over, and then he's one of the representatives. This guy, he sees them run the town hall meetings and shit, and then people just get up and start screaming at them, and then later he's like, "Oh, in my country, no such thing. People rise up, you go to jail. People talk this, you go to jail."
Cool.
Right? I remember
that's
that.
Where it's from. That's where it's from.
Yeah, that's where it's from.
The most ridiculous thing, right?
This is outrageous. Where are the armed men who come in to take the protesters away? Where are they? This kind of behavior is never tolerated in Boracua. You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
I think he came from Singapore. Oh no, I mean some other country. Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because the littlest things, then you go to jail.
Is that a segue into this literature, this body of literature that we're going to talk about?
Well, I mean, Animal Farm was actually for the Russian Revolution, right? The Soviet.
The Cold War? No, not.
No. The Soviet Revolution, the one that happened in 1917. You geography, right? In secondary school. Yeah.
Oh no shit.
This is something we can study.
Tributaries.
What the fuck
and
is
other
that?
land features.
I see. Yes. I know what a plateau is. I know what a canyon is. A valley.
Good enough.
I passed geography.
Right. So how? Okay, I think you should give context to the audience. Like, what made you choose this?
Okay, right. Yeah. So like whenever we
did a voice from the universe suddenly
the voices, most of the time is the voices in my head that tell me what to do. So I listen to them. No, but no. Every time like we're thinking about an episode to film, I just like have these moments where the universe speaketh to me and I listen. And so like so anyway, I was looking at I was just browsing through TikTok, and for some reason this video popped up that had this lady talking about the book Animal Farm, and she talks about how it's a book that shows how the classes within society can be ruled, and how the working class especially suffers, and how the working class is manipulated essentially. So yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah, I remember reading Animal Farm. Cool. Didn't really take much note of it, but then later at night I turned on this random movie. It's called The Hunt. Came out in 2020. Pretty interesting film. It follows a group of social elites, right? Like high-end Wall Street elites, and they basically hunt humans for fun, right? So they get a bunch of poor people, right? Rejects of society. Yeah, we can definitely participate in this. But yeah, they get these nobodies in society, and then they just start hunting them, right? And so throughout the book, you follow this main character. Her name is Snowball. Well, her name's not really Snowball, but the elites call her Snowball. And Snowball's actually one of the characters in Animal Farm. And I was like, wait, like Snowball, is that why they're calling her? They don't reveal it at first.
Right, it's like same exact name, right?
Yeah. And then after I was like, oh shit, Snowball. Okay, then I continue watching. And then later at the end of the film, yeah, they actually go into Animal Farm, right? And why they called her Snowball and blah, blah, blah.
Which makes it more fucked up though, because like they've obviously read Animal Farm.
Right.
and they're referencing her name
from
when
Animal Farm.
and what they are acting out is essentially the plot of the book, right?
No lah, I wouldn't say that what they're acting out is the plot of the book, lah. But there are heavy references. I mean, they are, upper elites, manipulating the working class people, the everyday people. And in this particular context of the film, it's more about hunting them, and it's not really what Animal Farm is about, lah. But yeah, there's parallels to it, lah. And so Animal Farm popped up twice that day. And I was like, okay, shit, let's do a podcast on Animal Farm.
I've personally not read Animal Farm. I'm lacking in certain faculties of the mind. If you guys haven't realized yet. so I went to Spark Notes and I got the lowdown of what the story is about.
This is my brother Bilo. He will explain to you story now.
Oh fuck! I wouldn't be even talking right now. I'll be like,
what if you were below? Is it?
I'll be like humping a drywall.
Yeah, probably. How do you know they're not actually doing that? Right, this is all happening in your head. You're just in a mental asylum, humping a drywall, banging your head against the wall. I don't know.
And this is my normal. It's my brain normalizing those behaviors
instances
into actually having a discussion on the podcast. But we digress.
Okay, yeah, come back.
So very, very, very condensed version of this.
Let's see if we butcher this.
Okay, yeah. Let's see if I fuck this up. I got my reading material beside here, but I'm not gonna read word for word.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's this group of animals that is on the farm, and they somehow got sentient because someone started to learn how to read, and they realize what the humans are doing to them. They are using them as a free labor. They're not treated right, and they feel very used. So there was an uprising. I think it's the three pigs, right? As a leader of the pig.
Yeah. Yeah.
Napoleon. That kind of led the revolution, quote unquote, and kind of overthrew the farm. And these three pigs, in order to make this revolution a success, they employed other animals who are also on the farm as muscles or manpower to overthrow the humans on the farm. One of them is the horse, which is kind of the police figure in our society, amongst other animals who have different social roles in the farm after they overthrew the humans. So it was a success, and I think midway through the whole thing, the human tried to retake his farm, and they successfully fought the human off, and that kind of gave the pigs, or in this case already the ruling class, more legitimacy, more power. The other animals living in the farm kind of gave up more power for them to keep on doing what they did, which is to maintain the security of this society that they have built free of humans. And things take a turn for the worse, or there's a darker twist to the story. These pigs, or the ruling class, they start exhibiting behaviors that are very human-like. They start to want the finer things in life. They start to distribute labor so that they can be off doing more important things, quote unquote.
Important,
yeah. And yeah, so they start distributing workload to people, but in this case animals. And eventually it becomes what the situation was when the humans were in charge of the farm. And I think certain members of this new society saw what was happening because they woke as fuck and they seek to kind of overthrow this ruling class. And I think it came from within. It's one of the three pigs, right?
Yeah. You mean the leader?
The one who deviated, who kind of defected from, became a renegade.
He was actually he was exiled by one of the leaders.
Right. Because he wanted to overthrow, right? He was exiled because of that, right?
He didn't. No. He didn't. He actually. It's because of. Okay, so the character you're talking about that got exiled is Snowball.
Okay.
Snowball actually had really good ideas, but Napoleon always disagreed with what Snowball thought.
Right. Okay, yeah. There was a power dynamic between the two of them, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but the details of what they disagreed on I skipped over it. Because of my hamster attention.
Okay.
Yeah, where was I? Speaking of hamster attention.
You were at about how the pigs are becoming more and more
Right.
human,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah. So how did they exile Snowball? They exiled Snowball using the horse, right? To kind of chase Snowball.
Okay. So Napoleon earlier on in the story, when he's trying to become more and more powerful, right? He actually trains these 9 puppies. He provides them special education, where basically he turns them to be his loyal dogs, right?
Right.
He sick them on Snowball, and so Snowball is chased off the place. Yeah.
Right.
And okay, and another thing is that like he disagrees with Snowball on quite a number of things, and one of it was actually a really brilliant idea. Snowball had the idea of building a windmill on the farm, but he disagreed with Snowball, and he thought it was a stupid idea, and that was actually when he exiled Snowball. But eventually, Napoleon actually builds this windmill, and throughout the construction, the windmill actually gets destroyed by weather, by strong winds and stuff like that. And Napoleon actually uses this as an opportunity to blame Snowball and says that Snowball is the reason why this happened. So he convinces all the animals that Snowball is the bad guy. Yeah. So that's kind of how they get rid of him. And eventually he puts an execution order out on Snowball, even though he's already been exiled.
Right. So there you go. I am certified ADHD. I lost like 80% of the plot.
Okay, man. there are quite a bit of stuff that, I mean, you kind of summed it up, a very condensed version. But yeah.
But I think I read until the very end. It's like the animals on the farm soon come to realize that Napoleon was in fact becoming the humans before they overthrew the humans. And he actually brokered a deal with another human to kind of take over that farm. And yeah, even before that, they like renamed the farm back to what humans named it. And in this case, they were talking about the mentality of these pigs. It's like they know better. They know what's better for society than the society knows. So they kind of enforce their beliefs onto the general population. And yeah, it comes full circle to the pigs becoming the humans at the very end.
Yeah,
that's kind of about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think I got 60% probably.
A bit less.
Would you say less than that? 50?
Can
40?
50 lah.
They get 40% of it.
50.
Okay,
Can,
50, but 50% ADHD. I think it's okay. They have a pill for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but that's kind of what happens. I'm gonna include some details now, right? in the story. Yeah. So, you talked about the old, at the start when the pig becomes sentient and starts talking about how the humans should be overthrown, and that they are not doing any work yet, they are reaping all the rewards of our hard labor. Yeah, so that part is actually where they coined this idea called animalism, right? So they designed this philosophy, and this philosophy that they designed has the 7 commandments in it. The 7 commandments that they come up with are: whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. The third one is: no animal shall wear clothes. Then no animal shall sleep in a bed. And then the fifth one: no animal shall drink alcohol. Sixth one: no animal shall kill another animal. And the last one is: all animals are equal. So as the story progresses, right, they slowly start to change more and more of these things. When the pigs, for example, start becoming more human, and then they start hoarding things for themselves and start enjoying the riches that the humans used to enjoy, they eventually break the rule of no animal shall sleep in a bed, right? And they change the rule to no animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets. And so they can happily sleep in a bed, just that
Without
the rule
sheets.
now. Yeah, correct. So then later, when they find alcohol, and then they start drinking alcohol, Napoleon drinks so much that he falls sick, and they kind of want to do away with alcohol completely. But then he recovers very quickly, and then now they change the rule to no animal shall drink alcohol to excess, right? So they can imbibe, but just not in excess. Eventually, once Napoleon gains power, and you mentioned like the part where the humans come back to try and recapture the farm. You mentioned that?
Yes.
Yeah, and so that part is actually quite significant, because at that point, when the humans try to come back and capture the farm, they of course the animals win, and at this point, yeah, you're right. They kind of use this opportunity to solidify their legitimacy as the ruling power, and Napoleon, establishes him as the ultimate ruler, and this is where they exile Snowball and all of that, and anybody who revolts from this point, right, or anybody that expresses unhappiness because they are in complete power, they now hold these ceremonies, and in fact, they actually do a public execution of some animals who they deem to be treacherous, and then they kill the animals. The 9 dogs just slaughter the animals under Napoleon's
Okay, I
orders.
remember reading about that.
Yeah. And so then that's where they change the other rule, right? The other commandment, the 6th one. No animal shall kill another animal without cause. And then, eventually at the end, right, when you mentioned they become more human, right? The pigs eventually start to walk on their 2 legs, in fact. And so, the rule where whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Now this rule gets thrown out also, right? And the sheep also play quite a significant role here, because the squealer, the propaganda dude, the propaganda pig, he starts forcing them to chant 4 legs good, 2 legs better, right? Because when the rules were first made, these sheep, they just start chanting 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. That's their chant.
Right.
And yeah, so now that chant is forced and morphed into 4 legs good, 2 legs better, right? And at this point, once the pigs start walking up on 2 legs, they're whipping the animals, just like how the humans used to whip the animals into doing the work and all of that.
Right.
And eventually it gets to the point where the 7 commandments are completely gone and replaced. And there's only one commandment, and this is the commandment: all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. So yeah, that's when the entire system crashes, and that's it. These guys are the ones in power. There is basically inequality, right?
Right.
And at this point, it's towards the end of the story. Napoleon invites the humans over for some celebratory like dinner, and drinks, and they are all playing poker in the house. And the animals on the farm, they come and they peer through the windows, and they look through the windows, and they can no longer differentiate the pigs from the humans. And then the story ends.
Shit. Okay.
Okay, so I
Because
think we
I
can,
just had one insight after you said the whole thing. Because you know, at the start of the whole thing, the way the way they classified their ideology, it's animalism, right?
yeah,
So I kind of looked at it like, you know, there's capitalism, there's communism, different kind of isms
hmm
in our human society. Then you look at what animalism became. It became a way in which a minority group attains and retains power. So in this case, whatever political ideology you have, when it falls into an ism, the end goal becomes an amassing of power to whoever is playing the game, be it said capitalism, like earning as much money to amass that power, or in communism, that inner circle, that divvying up of labor, and becoming the person who decides how to distribute that labor comes into
yeah.
power, right?
I'll
And
actually
retains that
I'll
power.
actually get into that
Right, right.
for the communism part, because yeah, this is what the story is about.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So okay, even though it's like a critique of communism, right? This thing doesn't it apply to capitalism as well?
Yeah,
Because both communism
definitely.
and capitalism, it kind of seems like they're both sides of the same coin.
Yep. Hell, this shit applies to democracy as well, man.
Yeah. So any ideology, right? When you propose such a system, any system, there's a person who's proposing it who gets more power the more legitimate the system becomes.
There's actually a part in the story, right, somewhere around the middle, where Napoleon, after completion of the windmill, the farm's now doing relatively well. The workers are in horrible states. They're overworked, they're tired, there are deaths of multiple animals, but the farm is doing well business-wise, right, making whatever they are supposed to make. So at this point, Napoleon, decides to build a schoolhouse to educate his 31 young pigs that he has fathered throughout the years. And of course, he gives himself a special privilege. He continues to spread propaganda through Squealer, to distract the animals from all their inequalities and all their hardships. And he, at this point, also holds like celebrations to fool the people to fool the animals into thinking that everything's going good, everything's going well. So he has like parades and celebrations, and he eventually declares the animal farm a republic, and he becomes president unanimously, obviously. And so yeah, it morphs into a different system already, a democracy, so called.
Which begs the question: are we in a real democracy?
I mean, a lot of people have debated that, right? If you ask like actual, I'm so many people who have studied politics have come out and said that Singapore is a modified democracy.
Right.
It's not. I don't think a true democracy really exists.
I don't think it'll ever
How?
work. It'll be so
That's
fucking
why-
chaotic, man.
Yeah, right. Everybody gets a say at everything, and then like, where
Yeah.
does it all go?
Yeah.
So-
Even this, I don't know if this brought it up to you, like this book that I recommended her is Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio's book called Principles.
Right. Can you
The
repeat that
name
again?
of the book is called Principles.
Hmm.
So he the way he runs his company, it's by way of idea democracy. So everyone has a say of which idea might work for a certain investment for maybe a product line or whatever course of action the business needs to take. But some opinions are worth more than others because of the person the person's experience, the person's background, the person's mental capacity. They have more say than others, which is kind of what balances out the whole thing, because there are bound to be foolish people, there are bound to be people who don't know what the fuck they're talking, and they shouldn't be given as much a vote as someone who knows their shit. Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of what.
I love that idea. I've always thought about, like, if I were ever to become a dictator of a country,
Yes.
the shit I fantasize
Because everyone
about when
thinks about that.
right, just taking a 30-minute shower, and then I'm imagining, speaking to the masses, holding my shower head. Okay, yeah, but the point is that, like, whenever I think about these things, and I think about, like, what's the best political system that I would feel is ideal, I would want, like, every decision to be made by, like, a panel of 1,000 experts, in the relevant field. Like, if there's a new economic policy that you wanna come up with, then I'm gonna get, like, the 1,000 of the best economists there are, or people who sit for a test and then they grade a certain level, and then they are allowed into this decision and this board meeting where they then decide this policy or decide on the best course of action for this policy.
Right.
Yeah.
But then do you start to get groupthink?
In this way, I think, like, a sample size of, like, 100 to 1,000 should avoid groupthink. And the point is, this group constantly changes. The dynamic constantly changes. It's not the same 1,000 people. It's always going to be different. Every time something wants to come in, right, or every time a new policy or something, they have to sit for a new set of tests, or there's a new set of criteria that they have to,
fulfill before they get
go
a
through.
vote
Yeah,
on this.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So it's a
it's a
self-fencing system.
long, yeah, correct. It's a long, drawn-out process, right? It's going to take, like, a long time to enact different policies, but then when it comes into play, right, it's that shit that matters.
But then,
that's
wouldn't certain
ideal.
Wouldn't certain issues be time sensitive?
Probably. I guess there has to be a way to work around that, lah. Then there will be a panel of, like, the 100 most trusted people.
Hey,
or
in
that sense,
decision, man.
I guess that's where the government comes in, right? If like, then immediate decision needs to be made, then the government of 100 people, or this government constituting of 100 people, will then make the decision. No choice. I mean, the people who are in this government also would have to have some level of credentials, and are experts in their own fields as well, right? So
sounds like
my dream political system. This is what I envision. But so coming back to Animal Farm, right? And I think the point that you brought up is really important, that ultimately these systems that exist, and any systems that exist, are going to be subject to corruption and this greed and hunger for power, right? Which we kind of covered in our 2 episodes ago. We talked about Falguni Sheth's philosophy, right?
Yes.
And so this need for power. So that's the end of part 1 of this 2-part podcast on Animal Farm. In the next one, we're going to look at all the characters in the book and kind of dissect them. Do check out part 2 when it comes out. Thanks for listening. Bye.